Hello, everybody, and welcome to X Marks the Spot. I am your host for this edition, Richter Hammer. Joining me, as per usual, are Chriz the Mole.
Hello.
Marcus Shadow.
What's up?
And James Phoenix.
Break the walls down! That's
I know.
exactly what they did, but we'll get to that.
And we are fresh off Night of Champions, so without further ado, we're going to jump right into it and get our do our two awards for the week and match and promo if you have them.
Absolutely.
So, your first award, take it away, Marcus.
All right. My first award comes from Raw, and it's called the What the Fuck Award, or Return of Super Cena. Well, for half the award. But basically, it was the Cena versus Sheamus award, and I had to rewind it to make sure I saw it right, because I'm like, that didn't make any sense. So Cena has Sheamus locked in the STF, and in reaction to Sheamus trying to drag himself to the ropes, he releases the leg lock portion of the STF and swings around, keeping his arms locked around Sheamus' face, so that he's in the perfect position for Sheamus to stand up into the steamroller. I'm like, really? Really, Cena? You just completely set that up instead of making it look like you were trying to do something? He's like, no, that's the only reason you swung your legs over there, so Sheamus could stand up and put you on his shoulders. I'm like, the fuck? That looked terrible. And then, immediately following the steamroller, the return of Super Cena, because you do the steamroller, Sheamus turns around, you notice Cena has stood up, boom, AA for the win. I'm like, wait, just got hit with a move. You can't just stand up. What are you, Ultimate Warrioring this?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Like, oh my god, that was so bad. That's the worst I've seen Cena wrestle in a while. I'm like, oh, what happened to you?
Isn't Ultimate Warrior it dying and having an award dedicated to you, which you never really wanted?
Oh, he'll get to that once he retires.
I thought I was having an award dedicated you didn't really want because you died the night after you appeared on Raw.
I will admit that sounded like Marcus just said that Ultimate Warrior will get that reward or award when he retires, and I just wanted to be like, he can't retire, he's dead. He's permanently retired.
No, I was talking about Cena, but yeah, just after seeing the end of that match, it literally made me shout out loud, "What the fuck was that?" That just looked really, really bad. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, literally, what other reason would Cena have to swing around like that so that he'd be in that position, literally laying across Sheamus' shoulders? That's literally all he did. He got into position, so he's literally laying across his shoulders, and Sheamus literally just stood up. And I'm like, really? Like, honestly, if Sheamus was pulling himself to the ropes, the correct counter is to release the face portion of it and then pull him back. You don't release the leg lock and swing around so you're laying on his shoulders. What does that accomplish? I was like, oh my god, that looks so bad. I don't know if anyone else caught that or if anyone else thought that looked stupid, but that just made me facepalm.
Fair enough.
No comment from Jim. Okay, back to the Ivory Tower.
It's standard Cena bullshit. I'm used to it by now.
What, making his move look like he's trying to position himself for someone else to do a move?
No, making his moves look like shit in general. It's kind of like how you're pissed that he did that with the STF, but if you actually looked at his STF in general, it's barely a fucking STF.
That's why his STF's not that good, but most of his moves recently has actually looked pretty good. All I'm saying is usually Cena is technically sound enough so that when he's in the ring doing stuff, it at least looks right. All I'm saying is with this move, the only thing accomplished by what he did was to lay himself across his shoulders. Because I went through my mind, I was like, what else could he be trying to do at this point? Because that's all it does, at least in my head.
That happens sometimes where it's like you don't know really. There's a delay because their attention's setting up for a move. It's sort of like
seeing an RKO coming.
Yeah, seeing an RKO coming. It's sort of like whenever Cena does that flip bottom move that he started using that takes like 5 minutes to set up. It's like whenever something like when things happening tonight, like for example when you're gonna roll through, and you're going to take 5 minutes to lift Cena up so you can put him on your shoulders to try to hit him with his own attitude adjustment. You know, or your Braun Strowman, and you're trying to spin a dude around to get him into your finisher position and failing horribly. You know, it's just kind of how that's going to go.
True.
Or
True,
how only a certain wrestler, no matter what he does, will eventually make you fall so you land on the rope.
That too.
Yeah, well. But at least, you know, with all of those, it's somewhat failures in execution, or, okay, yeah, they're setting up for certain things. But at least with the setup type stuff, like with the Rey Mysterio thing or the Randy Orton thing, like with Randy Orton, regardless if you see it coming, at least it still looks legitimate, and at least it still looks like, okay, that is kind of what would happen. With Cena, it's like there was no reason for him to do that. It accomplished nothing.
Yeah, but the thing, your complaint is, it accomplishes nothing, it sets up the move too much, and why the hell would he do that? Why the hell do people who never jump off the top rope always do it to Orton so we can catch him and do an RKO? That accomplishes nothing. Sets up so you're like, okay, so he's going to get RKO'd. Oh, yeah, RKO.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, oh yeah, and you got to add out of nowhere, because we're meant to be surprised if it's Orton. If it's Cena, we're meant to be like, we saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. With most of the people who jump at Orton, they're people who would do aerial moves. Yeah, you see it coming. Yeah, you know that he's going to do an RKO, but it's like, okay, he's going to go for an aerial move. We know he's going to RKO him. But, I mean, it's like Cena didn't even go for a move. He broke moves to fucking accomplish nothing except get his ass kicked. I'm like, well, that's great. I'm like, you know, at least make it look like you're trying to do something, but it's like, you know, it's like, oh, I was trying to keep the hands part locked in. You've never done that. Ever! I've never seen anyone who does the SCF ever do that. They always break the face part and pull them back. What?
Or he was modifying it by turning it into a crossface.
Ooh. I doubt it, but
I doubt it too, but
I would say no, because if he was going to do that, he rotated the absolute wrong way. He should have rotated the other way if he was going to make it a crossface. You don't rotate across someone's shoulders to do the crossface. Your legs kind of aren't that long.
his is.
Whatever. Yeah. But the point is, WWE superstars telegraph moves every so often, and sometimes, yeah, it's obvious that it's obvious that was only do it so the other person can reverse it and set up another move. It happens. He fucked up.
It happens a lot. It happens a lot nowadays.
Yeah, it does. But this is just a noticeable thing of at least, like I said, at least the other ones kind of make sense. Even if it's like, okay, yeah, we saw that coming, or we know why you're doing this particular counter, fair enough. But at least it's like, okay, well, he's going for a counter, or he's doing this or that. It still makes sense. Whereas Cena's made no sense. I'm like, what are you doing? Because even when I first saw it, that looked weird. That's why I had to rewind, because I was like, wait, what did he just do? And I rewound it, I'm like, that looks weird.
You see, by rolling himself onto Sheamus's shoulders the way he did, he was dispersing his weight, so therefore it would counteract Sheamus reaching for the ropes.
Yeah, it's sort of like the same. It's like same thing, like, you know, one of the things Cena does, like we saw tonight, like how, you know, if Cena knocks a dude down and goes to the second rope, that dude is always going to conveniently stand up with bent at the waist instead of standing up straight like a normal fucking person, so they get hit with a leg drop. That's just how it works.
I know, it just made no sense. Like I said, if you're trying to go into more of a crossface thing, number one, you did it wrong.
I was joking with the crossface.
I know, but I'm just saying, you know, A, your legs don't work that way. Also, B, if it's not a crossface, if it's like a modified type crossface, like he's just trying to hold like the arm part to torque, again, you've just basically released all the pressure by like rotating completely the wrong way, because again, your arms don't work that way. It's like it didn't make any sense.
What about putting all the weights there so Sheamus wouldn't be able to move forward to get to the ropes? Boom.
He should have rotated the other way. The point I'm making is, he goes that way, he's got no leverage. He releases all the pressure. The only way that makes sense is if he rotates the other way, the way he would go if he was going to make it a crossface, because then he's got all the leverage, because, you know, he doesn't have to reach across the body to lock it in to lock in the arms at that point. It became really unwieldy going that way, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yes, but like we've all said, and like Jim said as well, people do that all the time in wrestling because, and I hate to say this, it's not real, Marcus.
What?
It's still real to him, damn it!
What have I been
Therefore, you
doing all
get
this
stuff
time?
like weird RKOs and moves that make no sense and reversals where like, yeah, okay, you just clearly set this up just to do this move, okay.
Yeah. Or a thing tonight where which match was it?
Doesn't
All
matter,
the
we'll get
matches.
there.
Yeah, we'll get there. I can't remember which one it was. It was something. I don't remember.
Who cares? We'll get to it. Just
Yeah.
shush.
I just don't remember, but whatever.
But yeah, moving on to the Ivory Tower because apparently I'm the
all
only
right.
one who thought that sucked.
So, Jim, your first award?
Sure, why not? My first award is Wyatt TV. Or
Yes.
Wyatt's taking over the Miz TV segment on Monday Night Raw because that was kind of awesome. Like they chuck the extra chairs out. Bray's like, no, only I can say. You two will stand behind me and look intimidating.
That whole bit was almost my promo of the night.
And then they turn everything around, and they're facing the Miz, and the other two come out, and Amber just punches Miz, just throws him off his own show. It was great. I just liked how the Wyatts kind of took over, and I like a Bray was like, "Don't sit down, Miz. You are not safe here. Now continue the interview." Like Bray Wyatt just took over. It was great. Bray Wyatt needs a talk show. Not that he doesn't talk enough as a creepy back room as it is, but Bray Wyatt should have a talk show like the Wyatt Bayou or something. I don't know.
Wyatt Bayou. The Wyu.
Ah,
The Wyatt Family Feud.
Do, 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 do. That's a different one.
that's the Price is Right music.
We asked 100 people who was Virgil, and so they said,
No, Jim, it's the
So
price.
said what?
It's the price is Wyatt.
I wasn't sure if it was the same
Nah.
noise over there, but over here on Family Fortunes, which is like our version of your Family Feud, whenever they get an answer wrong, it's always
Now, still over here, it's
Yeah, ours is a giant, annoying ass
the
buzzer.
giant red X that goes.
Yeah.
See, ours is a red X, but it goes like they got it wrong, and it's it's like a massively famous one to the point that when they even did the board game, they had to include a buzzer, so if someone was wrong, you'd press it and go
Nice.
Our Family Feud game probably has an buzzer too, I'm sure. But yeah, that's the Family Feud or Family Fortune staple, as the case may be.
Remember, if you hear this, that means you've duplicated an answer and you need to say something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's still interesting to note that of all the Family Feud seasons that are replayed in syndication on various places like the Game Show Network, none of them are the Louis Anderson version.
Really?
Really. I don't know why, but they've never syndicated the Louis Anderson version of that show. They did they did the old school ones, the original Richard Dawson and the other guy. They've done the Richard Karn one and the really ass boring one with the fucking soap opera dude. I can't remember that dude's name. John O'Hurley, that boring ass dude. And then the good one with Steve Harvey.
Nice.
But anyway.
All right. So, Mole, your first award?
My first award is called Camp is Closed. And that's the WWE's adult-themed cartoon, Camp WWE, being delayed on the WWE Network, and the WON has an update on it. According to the outlet, some episodes have had to be reworked in order to edit the Hulk Hogan character out. So I just thought it was a little interesting note, because I know we were all looking forward to Camp WWE.
Indeed.
So Camp is closed. Over to Rick.
Yep. I'm actually going a little bit further with that. I was reading they actually banned all WWE personnel and anybody on a Legends contract from having any interaction with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I remember seeing a joke where it's like all wrestlers, or all people affiliated with WWE, even those not wrestling, and somebody's just like, you hear that Sandow and Axel and somebody else, and I was like, oh, Heath Slater. I was like, ouch.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like I saw the other bit of news earlier that made me go, huh, okay, that's a thing. According to Bischoff on one of the recent podcasts, Did you know Hogan owned 50% owned at one point 50% of the NWO brand?
I did not.
Nash owned the other 50%. Then Scott Hall bought percentages from both, so they all owned a third. Then Kevin Nash bought out Scott Hall's. And WWE pulled all the NWO merchandise from their shop. Nash went back in there and spoke to Triple H. Was like, "You're costing me money here just to try and spite Hulk Hogan." They put the merchandise back up.
Nice.
Fun little tidbit. But yes, back to Rick.
All right. My first award is the Create a Stable Award for on the, I think it was on the Fallout show after Raw, but they asked Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose who their mystery partner was. Granted, this is outdated at this point, but whatever. And they had this, actually, I thought it was a pretty funny segment where they were talking about, like, oh, it's Great Khali. It's like, hey, you think she bought that? You think she bought that? And he's like, yeah, no, actually, it's Savio Vega. He's like, I'm waiting for a call back from him. He's like, no, it's Khali. I don't know. I kind of like it when they it seemed less like the character, like at least Reigns seemed, less like the character he plays on TV. I thought it seemed like two guys just kind of messing around with someone, and I was like, I thought it was pretty funny.
Nice.
So, Marcus, your second award?
My second one comes to us straight from Hulu Plus. It's called the Spoiler Alert Award. And that's for after Big Show came out for his match with Sting, but before Sting came out, for whatever reason, on Hulu's stream, and I don't know if this was on the original airing of Raw, but I know at least on Hulu's stream, it flashed up a quick scene of Cena in the ring with Sting, with Rollins on the outside with Big Show and the Authority. It's like, wow, spoiler alert. Yeah, because that's like what happened later in the match.
Yes, which means I'm going to make the case, Marcus, that couldn't have happened during the main streaming of Raw, as it's live. But you can't get footage from the future.
True, fair enough. Okay.
You can if you have the VHS copy of tonight's show.
Or if you're Zack Ryder, with time-traveling capabilities.
Yeah, but that made me faithful, because the first time it happened, I was like, wait, what? And I reminded, because I didn't know if it was just, like, a glitch of the thing, of like lag or whatever, or if it was legitimately like a mess up in the stream. And I rewound it, and sure enough, it came up again, and I had to facepalm. I was like, wait a minute. Like, thanks for spoiling that. But yeah, I had to give that an award.
Nice.
All right, Jim, your second award?
Alrighty then. My second award. I didn't even name this because I didn't know what to make. I don't know. I just called this "What the hell" because what the hell. From on Monday Night Raw, from the moment Ryback's music hit to the moment that he and Owens left, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, they came out, there was a shitty Elvis impression, there was Ryback trying to be serious and shit, there was JBL talking over Ryback's promo for no given reason, there was abuse of books, which pissed me off even more.
What happened is Kevin Owens came out with the book and mocked Ryback, because when Ryback back when, if you remember when he cut his life story, he kept dedicating how much of his recovery and stuff he owes to that particular book, which that's why JBL was talking over him to remind people why the book was important, because they may have forgotten. And then Kevin Owens basically challenged him for the Intercontinental title, as Ryback said, yeah, go, okay then. And that was it. It was a challenge for a match.
Which is fair enough. I'm just saying, it just seemed like it was bizarre. It's like, okay, we got the bad Elvis impression, and then he's trying to be all serious, and then Keno's come back, and then it looked like he tried to throw the book out of the ring, and then he failed to throw it out of the ring, and then they're kicking the book jacket around, and then Owens picks up and throws it in Ryback's face, like they're trying to cover the fact that they fucked up. And then Jamie talking over Ryback's promo was like, okay, I understand you want to put information out there, but now all the dude is cutting a promo that makes you look like a shitty commentator. Don't do that. And there's more than enough making you look like a shitty commentator.
Nice.
I will make the point. You do that. During our videos, you constantly key up to read stuff over people.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but now they're in the middle of a sentence.
Yes, you do.
But yeah, I didn't say that because I'm guessing Hulu. That was one of the things Hulu cut out. So
It was just weird and a mess, and I felt like it was just okay. We need to set up this match, and we're gonna do it in the most bizarre way possible. I don't know.
Fair enough. It made sense to me. The only part I didn't like was I was like, if this had been an actual pay-per-view instead of being with how the network's structured, I think I'd be more pissed about the fact you've just set this match up 1 week before the fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I also love how it was Ryback who set the match up. It's not even like Owens challenged him for the title. Ryback was like, well, after last week, I went to took care of that. I went and saw the Authority. And the Night of Champions, it's going to be me versus you for this Intercontinental Championship. I was like, okay, I get you in the face, but you didn't have to defend that belt. Why did you go make yourself a match? You didn't have to lose the belt tonight. You could have not done that.
yes, he did. All championships are on the line. He just chose to select his own opponent. I think that's a really good option.
Well, given that it was the week before and they hadn't booked the match yet, I'm pretty sure the Authority forgot about that belt.
3 things. 1, yes, all titles had to be on the line. That's why Seth Rollins was wrestling twice. 2, you just spoiled what we're going to be reviewing. And 3, Kevin Owens initiated that before that, right? Because he started this feud with Ryback. And also he told Ryback in the promo, anytime, anywhere, I can take that title from you. And Ryback wanted to basically prove he's better than Kevin Owens and to basically accept the challenges and stuff that have been issued and the feud that's going on. So he's made the matchup so that he defends against the person he actually wants to fight, because Ryback's gimmick isn't I want to wait and hope people forget. It's more of I want to beat people up and prove I'm the big guy. Feed me more.
No.
Which is
yes. To all 3.
Mm-hmm. No, I just meant no to the feed. I just meant no to the feed anymore.
Yes. Oh.
And now he's full.
Pretty much.
And now he has indigestion. Over to Hammy.
Okay.
And it was the most awkward transition ever.
Seamless transition.
Thank you.
Haha.
Just gonna
And
say.
thank you for saying over to Mole, Rick, before Jim spoke over you in a way he never said he does. Hashtag BS.
Hashtag
And
that's what Jim do.
Yep. Hashtag BS. That goes to Renee Young, because she mentioned, and it's not called that because Renee Young was bullshit. Renee Young mentioned she was tired of receiving overly negative comments from fans randomly on social media, because that's now become a big thing. So she posted the following on her Instagram account on Sunday to vent her frustration. I really wish people could focus on more important things in their own lives than stay up way beyond important things in their own lives rather than stay up way your bedtimes. I don't know, that sentence sounds weird.
I think it's supposed to be way past your bedtimes. I think she missed a word there.
Shh. People are talking, Jim.
Yeah, Jim, you need to learn when to shut the hell up.
Way to do it yourself. But yeah, stay up way your bedtime on a school night and try and tear other people. It's exhausting and it's stupid and it's so sad. I understand that most of these comments come from teenagers that compare high school stories to real life, but grow up. And if you're an adult, you should be ashamed of yourself for behaving like a maniac because you think you know who these people are. You make social media a horrible time and turn it into a forum for some sort of roast. TV is not real life, period. And that's the end.
Try telling that to the evening news.
Still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, but I actually do agree with her. I understand if we don't like certain wrestlers or if we don't like certain characters on TV, but I always say, like, for example, let's say that, as people know, I'm not a massive Ryback fan.
Right.
I don't spend my time on Twitter tweeting him insults, because what's the fucking point? There's more important things in life.
Exactly.
True.
Indeed.
Now, Richter, I constantly bombard with insults.
It's true.
Indeed.
It's true. But no, back to Richter.
All right. All right. So for my second award, this is called Out the Wazoo. But on the weekly Up Up Down Down, they had a Superstar Save Point where he played with Big Wool. Love that nickname for Biggie. And they were playing Octodad co-op, so each of them had a controller and each would control half of the Octodad. It was pretty funny, just them, messing around and stuff. But I don't know if he did this, so maybe you guys can tell me. But at one point he was just like, "Yeah, he's like, I can't just pull it out the wazoo." He's like, "This is Biggie sings." He's like, "Nobody says that anymore, out the wazoo." He's like, "I should say that." He's like, "You gonna say?" He's like, "You should say that tonight." And he's like, "I'm gonna say that tonight." And he's like, "Are you really?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." He's like, "No, you're not. No, you're not." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." He's like, "You gonna work it in?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna say out the wazoo." He's like, "Wazoo or just out the wazoo? Which one?" He's like, I don't know, one of those. So I don't know if he actually did say it, but he was claiming he was gonna, and I kind of was hoping he did, but I doubt it.
What night was that?
I believe they were filming it Monday, but I don't know for sure because it goes up, like on a Wednesday or something.
I don't recall hearing him say that, but then again, I saw it on Hulu, and so they cut stuff out, so it's possible.
Yep, I don't remember him saying that, but they could have also filmed it Tuesday before SmackDown.
True. It's true.
That's possible.
Yeah, I'm not sure when he records it, but they had to be quiet at one point, which they've had to do sometimes, so I don't know. I guess not that. Well, there was one he was in his old, apartment or whatever, but sometimes they're just in this random room, like, oh, they're filming next door. That picture there's interviewing in the backstage area, and then just beyond the door there's him sitting there playing fucking PlayStation 4.
Well, that's like typically standard because they're on the road, so they just bring in something, they hook it up in a spare room. So they're in the room, they're playing Octodad, they're having a great time. They're just doing their thing. It's just awesome. They're joking around, they're having a great time. And you just walk out the door, you just go, and then you just walk out the door. You just go to the next room over. Roman Reigns, you will not stand against the Black Sheep, Braun Strowman.
I like to picture Bray cuts that kind of promo, and then they're cut, and he walks in the door. He's like, he's like, you motherfuckers got Metal Gear on there? I want to play that. He's like, yeah, come on. He just pulls up a seat, and he's like, I'm gonna show you the new face of Cardboard Box. Actually, fuck it. Now I want Bray Wyatt to be on.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Played. Need to see him just say dumb shit from the Wyatt family, but just cater to the hand. So it just makes this horrible combination that people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I want to see that with him yelling at games like Slender Man with, no, I am the new face of fear.
That would be fucking hilarious if he was playing it and it was a jump scare and you see Xavier just go, oh, and then Bray just is sitting there staring at it, just playing. It'd be hilarious if it didn't phase him.
Yeah.
He's like, you think you're scary, Slender Man? Step into the ring.
How amazing would it be if they added to the game as well, so after he does all that, Slender Man gets scared and runs off?
Yes.
And they sell it as being part of the game, and everyone's like, wait, how did you do that? Well, you have Connect.
No, that's gonna be the next episode of Punk. Just gonna tell Xavier Woods he's gotta have the Wyatt family on his show, and then they're gonna start playing a horror game, and the jump scares in the game are gonna be edited to be the Wyatt family to freak him out.
Don't you mean swerved?
Yeah, that.
But yeah, that was mine. So
Nice.
Now match and promo.
Match and promo of the week.
Oh, we're doing that? Okay.
I guess. Yeah, I don't have anything.
Yeah, we're doing that.
So.
I couldn't remember if we did match and promo on these weeks.
We do, and they don't include the pay-per-view matches or promo.
Fair enough.
All right, so Mark Your match and promo?
All right, so my match of the week, Nikki Bella versus Charlotte for the WWE Divas Championship on Raw, where Nikki retains after Brie fails at Twin Magic. Which, did you see it? Well, you obviously saw part of it on the pay-per-view today. Where she went for Twin Magic, got rolled up by Charlotte, who was announced the winner. Because the ref didn't see it, Flair came out to celebrate, all crying, "Oh, Charlotte, my baby won." But then Stephanie McMahon came out and was like, "Sorry, Rick, Charlotte, but I have to uphold the integrity of the Divas division. Title cannot change hands when you pin someone who wasn't even in the match. However, the moment Brie Bella put her hands on you, Nikki should have been disqualified. So the winner of the match due to disqualification is still Charlotte, but still your WWE Divas champion, Nikki Bella." Which Charlotte breaks down crying. Rick comforts her as she returns the title.
Bullshit.
Half. So Team Bella celebrates, and then Stephanie then interrupts you and says, "Don't celebrate too much, Nikki. Since Charlotte won her match against you, she will face you at the Night of Champions for the Divas Championship. However, should you lose a match for any reason, be it pinfall, submission, count-out, or even disqualification, you will lose the Divas Championship."
Dun, dun, dun.
And the thing is, this was a really, really good match, and that was kind of a bullshit finish to the match. However, A, we knew Nikki had to retain, and B, because Stephanie did what she did when she was like, "Yeah, but you're going to defend it at Night of Champions, and you have to actually win the match," I'm like, okay, I'm kind of okay with this. I think the match could have ended better, but I'm okay with what happened, if that makes sense. Like, the only reason I didn't like it is because the match was so good, and I'm like, oh, that is not a satisfying end to that caliber of a match. Like, when we'll begin this, but if it had been a match like the Divas title match tonight, I would have been perfectly fine with that ending. But yeah, that's my match of the night. And my promo, and actually, Rick, you touched on this because you had it as one of your awards.
Mm-hmm.
It's Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose being interviewed by JoJo after Raw. That promo was fucking awesome. I originally gave it to Reigns when he was in the ring and after when he interrupted Miz TV. Because I just love that Miz is like, he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in the ring with the Wyatt family live on this," and Ambrose just turns around and knocks him out. It's like, "Don't get out of the ring." But yeah, the promo afterwards, because I actually noticed I was perusing videos just kind of for fun before Night of Champions, and I ran across that, and I was like, "Wait, what's this?" And I was like, and I was watching it, I was like, okay, that made me genuinely laugh. Just the whole, it's a Great Khali. No, it's Savio Vega. What? But no, it's supposed to be the Great Khali. It's like, all right, fine, it's Savio Vega, but if he can't make it, it's the Great Khali. But I love what he does is he turns JoJo and Reigns turns to JoJo and Ambrose and is like, "See, that's all you had to do. You just had to ask. I mean, come on, you got Bray Wyatt. He says all this other crap, and and no one can understand what he's saying. He doesn't know who my partner is. He never actually asked, but you asked. So yeah, thanks for doing that. It's refreshing to have someone actually just ask me for once." He's like, "You're doing a great job, Rojo. Just keep it up." And they walk off, and I'm just like, that's awesome. Yeah, all you have to do is ask. But yeah, that's my promo of the week. Back to Richter.
All right. So, Jim, did you have a match and promo or no?
I do not have a promo, but I also gave a match to Charlotte versus Nikki Bella. That was a great match, although I will give honorable mention to Paige versus Sasha because I also really liked that match, and I was tempted to give that the match of the night because I really didn't like the contrived bullshit ending of the title match, even though I understand why they did it. But that was just they were both amazing matches, but I give it to the title match because they had more time and they just really went all out for that match, and it was good. So
yeah, that match was great. Aside from the ending.
Mm-hmm.
No promo, huh? I'm surprised.
No, I didn't get a chance to write. That's the problem is, remember, I got there late, so I didn't see any of the opening stuff, and I didn't watch the post-show, so the entirety of promos that I was able to see for the evening was Rusev screaming through a locker room door, and basically, and the authority in the back saying, yeah, make sure you're going to knock Sting out. That was really all the promos I saw. So.
Fair enough.
All right. So, Mole, your match and promo?
I also gave it to Nikki v. Charlotte as a match. But I will say the opposite of them. I like that ending. Only because going into a pay-per-view, if Charlotte had won, bullshit, because that means the rematch feud is one night long. And if Nikki had won, bullshit, your number one contender now looks weak as fuck. Therefore, you need some sort of bullshit, like the double DQ, dusty ass finish, so that people care enough to go in there. And Charlotte sold it like fuck with the tears and stuff. It's like that was great. It's like every now and again you need something like that, and I felt it was needed, and I really did like that quality in that match. My promo, which Marcus spoiled despite not giving it the award, was the Wyatt family appearing on Miz TV. Not for the bit where Wyatt was in the ring, that was okay, it was Bray Wyatt being Bray Wyatt. But the second Reigns got into the ring, they beat up Miz, they threw him out. Reigns' promo too, and he's like about where he's talking about like his cousin being attacked on SmackDown, and he's just going through all the stuff. Reigns was actually really good on the microphone, and the crowd were really into him. So I'm like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he did do a good job.
Yeah, and I thought it was great seeing that promo, and like, oh, and by the way, yeah, we found a third man. More on that later, but
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. So that was my match and promo of the week. Back to Hammy.
All right. And as mentioned before, I don't have one, so now we will go right into the
Pre-show.
pay-per-view proper. And yes, we had the pre-show, and the match during that was the six-man tag of the Cosmic Wasteland versus known Lucha Dragons.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah, that was a pretty good match.
I loved that bit I mentioned to you.
The like moonsault with the double over the top rope. Yeah, that was cool.
The moonsault, double over the top rope, and only Adrian Neville is on his feet. When he does it, he hits him and lands on his feet with a moonsault from the rope, and just continues like, "Yep, hey, I'm awesome." It's like gravity forgot him. Also, props to Cody Rhodes' new attire.
That did look interesting.
His like cloak thing.
No, I meant the sleeveless look.
Oh, okay.
Because normally he's been sleeved. This was sleeveless looked with the yellow and stuff. It looked cool. The whole thing, I was like, he looks different. Why does he look different? Then near the end, like, he has no sleeves.
He has a new cloak for his entrance attire.
I don't know if it's new. It's new to me, but yeah, he had this like giant fucking like Mr. Sinister looking cloak.
He's had that since the last pay-per-view he was at.
It's like a cross between Mr. Sinister's like top of it and then like Lulu from Final Fantasy X. It looked like it was made out of belts or something.
Yeah, I think he's had that since the last pay-per-view. I think he debuted it at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, he's had that for a little while.
Which I hope the stable doesn't stick around, but I like the name of it.
I was kind of hoping that the Ascension were going to come out with like different outfits that kind of matched him. I was like, that would have been cool.
That would have been nice, yeah.
Although, admittedly, I would also want a number 1 and a number 2 painted on their chest, fucking 70s Batman style.
Nice.
Yes. Or Thing 1 and Thing 2 style.
Yes.
That's what he's taking. That's what Richter calls his kids.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but okay. So then on to the, after the pre-show, we had the Night of Champions pay-per-view. First match was Owens v. Ryback.
Oh, and by the way, can I just quick mention how awesome I thought it was that the panel table was outside? That was pretty cool.
That was different. But they only did that because they had that giant-ass created WWE superstar ring behind them, right?
I also saw Thingy was fun.
What's that?
On the pre-show. The Save the Tables.
Yeah. Save the tables.
Where they just kicked him out.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, but I liked it when they kicked him out and they're like, not if we win, when we win. But yeah, I liked this match. I'll just say for the record, I didn't think there was a single bad match at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this match, I liked it. It was okay. Although it wasn't as shit as I thought it would be because Ryback. But
No.
the ending, I totally semi-called.
Oh.
I mentioned with how shit Ryback is at stuff, I don't think Kevin Owens can powerbomb him because I don't think Ryback has the skill to run off the ropes and jump up. And he wins by a roll-up.
Yep. Although, give Owens credit, he tossed him into the ropes like he was going for the powerbomb. He at least tried.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, in my opinion, that kind of made Owens look like crap. But this was a generally good match, and yeah, Owens won, new champ. Ryback. What's that? Yeah, but the way he won. But Ryback did actually a really good job. He sold the arm injury very well, so well done on his part.
Yeah, I say that's one of the things that made Owens look awesome in this, is the ring psychology of he kept targeting the arm and working it, which, while people do that nowadays, how often do they do it and stop and just move the fuck on to something else?
True, and I do give Owens credit for that. I was disappointed because this is supposed to be the guy that beat John Cena multiple times, once at a pay-per-view. And, and he beat, I think he beat, Cesaro a couple times. He's gone through a bunch of superstars. He's been a fucking powerhouse. And, even when he lost to Cena, he still managed, when he lost to Cena, he managed to match Cena move for move. And this guy, with all this credibility, gets manhandled by Ryback? Seriously? I was really disappointed he didn't get his pop-up powerbomb off at least once, especially with how, well, no offense, but how kind of shit they made him look by basically saying he can't counter Ryback. He can't at least, move for move, even if he has to, actually get hit, which is fine. But at least let him do stuff, and it's okay, he's got the ring psychology stuff, but it's Owens is supposed to be a powerhouse. He should be able to match Ryback power for power, and he can't even get off his finishing move once. And I understand why after you said it now, and it makes sense, but it's still just combined with everything else. I'm just oh, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I say it makes sense because of the Ryback character as well. Even when Cena went against Ryback was manhandling him and stuff. It's sort of what Ryback does. He only knows one thing, and that's to just go, feed me more, as he throws people around.
Pretty much. I mean, that would be like watching a Zeke Jackson match and being shocked that he used a power slam.
Yep. But the fact Kevin Owens actually managed to beat him, I'm okay. I didn't see that coming, but I wish it did. But I was okay. And the match quality of itself wasn't as shit as I thought. So I'm okay, cool.
No, the match quality was pretty good.
For a Ryback match.
Considering it was a Ryback match, it was actually pretty good. But yeah, I just wish Owens had done more. I wish, because maybe it's because I've come to expect a different type of match from Owens, that it's to me, this feels a little subdued.
Yeah, but look at who he's against.
Yeah.
Literally, he's limited by what Ryback can do.
That's
when
true.
He's been against Cesaro or Cena, they're capable, whether or not people believe it, they're actually capable of at least putting on a somewhat decent match.
Yes.
Therefore, Owens would be able to do it because it takes two to tango. It's Shawn Michaels v. The Great Khali was not a 5-star match. Yeah, he managed to make it somewhat enjoyable and better than I thought it'd be, but it was nowhere near a 5-star match. Whereas if you put Shawn Michaels v. Bret Hart, like the WrestleMania match, which kicked ass, the Iron Man match. Instant 5-star match.
Mm-hmm. True.
Because it takes two to tango, and it's like Ryback's so shit. Kevin Owens can't do his moves he normally does because Ryback.
Fair enough.
All right.
Fucking Ryback.
Are you quoting CM Punk? All right. So next match, I believe, was Ziggler v Rusev.
That was weird.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid match, though.
Yeah,
wasn't
I like
good.
this match.
Wasn't terrible.
I like this match, and I'll be honest. I know some people didn't like it. I didn't mind the ending either.
I kind of scratched my head at that ending. I was like, wait, but shouldn't that DQ Ziggler? Even though it was kind of the ref's fault.
Yeah, but it was accidental. It was the ref's fault for ducking, and she's actually Rusev's manager. Therefore, you get managers like patting their clients down and stuff. So it's like, okay, I get what you're doing with this, but it's like, boom, hits him in the face, boom, over. And I'm like, okay, our hero Rusev was
There you
cheap,
go.
but it was still a good match.
Yeah, you really can't complain about that, Marcus, because that would be like complaining every time Yokozuna took the salt to the face because Mr. Fuji missed his opponent.
True. I don't know, I guess I was kind of hoping that for once Ziggler would get a clean win on him.
Why would you hope that? Our hero Rusev should have won cleanly.
He's
Guys,
your
I like
hero.
Ziggler. Also, Ziggler, new attire.
Yeah, and look at what Ziggler's doing. He's even leaving gifts for the other guy's woman to try and steal yet another one of his women, because Dolph just wants all the women.
He does.
It's like, come on. Okay, you got one. Okay, fair enough. Everyone's allowed one. But you've already
Everybody
got this
gets
one. You've got this one, and just because she's injured, you're going to try and steal another woman from our hero Rusev?
Of course he wants all the women. He has to follow in the glorious footsteps of his idol, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, it's like I make the case, and part of this is a joke, but I still make the case. Our hero Rusev is the only one in this feud who's not done something bad. The only thing he did wrong was he mistreated Lana. Fair enough. However, Dolph stole her from her boyfriend, and you also had the thing of she left him and went straight to someone else instead of trying to figure out their issues. Then you have Summer Rae show up, attack Lana, and then try and get with Dolph herself. Rusev's the innocent victim here. He is a hero. I commend you, sir.
Like, he just mistreated her, but whatever. Yeah.
He's allowed to.
No, you don't key your own car.
Yeah, but you're allowed to key your own car. It's like when people stick stupid bumper stickers all over their car. Yeah, it's mistreating it, but whatever, it's your car. No.
But then your earlier argument should make perfect sense because if Dolph Ziggler's car got damaged and is in the shop, he needs a rental.
That's true.
Yeah, but I will point out for the record, Rusev didn't actually beat up Lana.
Allegedly.
He just treated her badly personality-wise, which means they just needed to go to counselor, like couple therapy or something. She didn't need to go, oh, you're treating me slightly bad, I'm going to go and sleep with Dolph.
No, I'm okay with that.
Poor Rusev. Poor Rusev.
It's okay. He's got all those games that he plays for 2 hours that'll comfort him.
He does.
Yeah.
I don't even know why our hero Rusev is a thing, but it's my thing, damn it. Our hero Rusev.
Yeah. You know, if they all need some help, I know a guy who returned tonight that has the number of a good therapist.
Fair enough, we'll get to that later.
Was it the third man because of how much his band sucked?
Ha!
Ouch.
No, I thought it was the other guy.
Yeah, we'll get to that. What the fuck was that? Anyway.
But no, in all seriousness, this match wasn't bad. And the ending made sense to prolong the feud because they're going to want to drag this out till Lana comes back.
True.
Therefore, it makes sense, and it was a good, solid match for everything involved, and I'm like, that's cool.
Indeed.
Yep.
Ivory Tower.
All right.
Rick.
So then we have the tag team championship match, the New Day versus the Dudleys, which had a wonderful opening.
Also, between matches, we did have a lovely segment where we saw Divas and Ric Flair.
Which was fine. But yeah, this match, again, the match was good. The ending was bullshit. And I'm not saying the Dudley should have won. I'm just saying the ending was bullshit.
It was kind of dumb. Where
Like,
runs
really?
in and
Wait a
like,
minute.
oh, disqualified. Like, okay.
Yeah, Dudley's return match to the pay-per-view in a title match, and that's how you're going to end the match? Really? You could just have, the New Day just win? What? Would that have put them over way too much? What? And it's not like the Dudleys wouldn't get a rematch anyway. Just let them win and make it look good. What's the problem with doing that?
Oh, like you said, it's their first pay-per-view match. They didn't want the Dudleys to look weak against the New Day. They want the Dudleys to be a threat to help out the division. That's why, honestly, I thought the Dudleys were going to win, and I would have been okay with that. I really would have been okay with the Dudleys winning. But the ending itself, I'm like, the New Day get to say, oh, look, we managed to keep our titles, and the Dudleys get to look really strong at the end. I'm like, okay, that works out for both people.
The only thing I liked about this ending was when they're like, Woods, get the table! And they got the table out, and as they were setting it up, the crowd started chanting, save the tables! Save the tables! That made me laugh. Also, during the match, Rufio! Rufio! Which, what the hell was up with Woods' hair? That looks weird. I like their new outfits, but that hair...
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that.
I liked their new outfit, and I think his hair, based on how it looked, was deliberately supposed to be a reference.
To Rufio? Yeah, probably. I would not put it past Woods to reference Rufio.
Yep. Or Shadow the Hedgehog. No.
I'm pretty sure if anyone knows about, the Sonic games, I don't know about Xavier Woods. I mean, it's not like he plays video games or had the Chaos Emerald sewn on his original tights or anything.
Nice. Which, yeah, like I said, it could be Shadow the Hedgehog, which I doubt, but only because, no. No, who would want to reference Shadow the Hedgehog? I like Shadow. He was good in his first game or two, but... It's probably Rufio.
Also, I'm sure he's had it on here there the whole time, but this is the first time I noticed it. On his trombone, on the back of Woods' trombone, there's actually a wireless amp hooked up onto it. So when he plays it, you can actually hear it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, but I never noticed that before.
I did not either.
Yep, he's the modern day Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I'm surprised they didn't give him like a megaphone. As much as he screams, it's like, dude, that would save his voice if you gave him Jimmy Hart's megaphone.
Okay.
Yeah, but his trombone is more him. If you gave him a megaphone, it's too obviously Jimmy Hart.
Which is fine.
Trombone, you get little references of what tunes he plays.
Yeah, which is fine. Then don't have him scream. That's all I'm saying. It's like it's kind of fucking his voice up. Because you hear how loud he screams, and I find it hard to believe it's not fucking his voice up completely. You hear his voice strain whenever he screams. It's like, no, dude, don't fuck your voice up. Just use the trombone. Take a deep breath. Use the trombone.
Yeah, it's strange when he screams and stuff like most people do when he screams, but his voice still seems fine because he only does it like, once or twice a week or so?
Mm-hmm. I'm also surprised.
Depends on what he's playing.
Yeah, I'm also surprised he stopped using the Final Fantasy tune. I'm like, oh, I wanted that to be their victory tune.
He at least did it today, though, in the middle.
Did he? I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
He did it once.
Huh. I heard another tune. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I was like, that's clever. I can't remember what the tune was. Oh, what was he playing? I can't remember. It was in the middle of the match. Yeah, like I said, the match was good. I just disagreed with the ending of it. It's like, oh. Yes, Jim. What do you think?
To be honest, I didn't see much of the tag match.
Okay.
I was exhausted because I worked 6 o'clock this morning, so I kind of fell asleep during the tag match.
No, it's a good one. No.
I saw parts of it here and there. I saw the come out. I saw the Rufio here. I saw the trombone. And then I was in and out, and then I kind of woke up when the Divas match started.
I will say, Rick, unlike the last 2 pay-per-views, at least I stay awake during these for you.
Thanks.
I validate your show.
You don't get up and work at 6 in the morning.
He goes to sleep at 6 in the morning.
All right, which means he can sleep for that gives him 13 hours for the pay-per-view to sleep.
No, I mean after the pay-per-view, normally after we finished recording this, I normally go to sleep and then wake up about 3 or 4 hours time.
Mm.
Fair enough.
But I will say, just hearing about this, I feel disappointed that when the New Day pulled their table out, it was not the bubble wrap table.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering what they were going to do. I thought they were going to, set it up and not break it. And then when the Dudleys got picking, I was like, oh, okay, never mind. I see what they're going to do.
Yeah, I will say one thing was missing from this match.
Spike?
Nope.
Pan?
Nope.
Our hero Rusev?
Yeah, that's true.
Because it seemed like this feud has been more of a semi-triple threat feud.
Yep.
Because it's been like, oh, which one are going to put through the table? Primetime Players or New Day? When it comes to the pay-per-view, it's only New Day. I thought Primetime Players might get involved or might have made it a triple threat or something.
Mm-hmm.
No, they lost their right to be on the pay-per-view when they lost to the New Day on Monday Night Raw, because that's just how that goes.
Yeah, so that's how that went. But I mean, with how the feud was structured, I thought they might have made it a triple threat or something.
Maybe.
Fair enough.
All right. So next up was the Divas match, Charlotte v. Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
Which has before this match, because I couldn't remember, was the record broken by Nikki?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It was broken as of Raw. As
of midnight Monday night after Raw, the record, she went on to 1 day past AJ, and the record was in fact broken. That was why the match on Raw was so important. Because if Charlotte had beat her, she would have not stayed under the record by a few hours, or by a day, as the case might be.
Which means she actually beats it by almost a week.
Yep.
Yeah, this match was good.
Yes.
Nikki looked good, surprisingly. I mean, I knew Nikki was good, but wow, she looked really good out there.
Oh, yeah.
I like this match.
It was a good match.
We'll
like
say this match. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just gonna say, like I was saying before we went on the air, I thought that the Divas match on Raw should have been this one, because the Divas match on Raw was better, and I felt that this match, while it was good, was disappointing just because the one on Raw was so much better. And because this match, while they had a reason for it, I don't like the fact that Charlotte looked completely as weak and inept the entire match just because of that injury. And it's like, no, the Divas match on Raw was better because neither of them looked weak, and it was just a straight up competition of you're both good, which one is better. This one was like they fucking super seen her, where that or behind the 8 ball almost from the word go after she got that one injury, and then Nikki focused in on it, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is making Nikki look good, and the match isn't terrible, but I'd rather see the highly competitive, just back and forth match between the Divas, because to me that's more entertaining than, oh, she's getting her ass kicked and then she's going to turn it around at the 11th hour. I'm like, really? Really? After what kind of caliber of match you put on Raw, this is going to be your big Divas title match where Charlotte's going to win? Really? So that was kind of disappointing to me. I don't know if anyone else felt that way.
No, like I said, I really liked this match. I thought the quality of the match was pretty good. I will say I only had one thing that I mentioned. This one just sort of semi-reminded me of more. I don't know if you'd agree, Rick, because I mentioned it to Marcus earlier. But Charlotte needs to be slightly rebranded, I feel.
Oh,
Yes.
Only because, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with how she is, per se. But it's like what Natalia went through when she first came out and then she became her own person. It's sort of, at this point, she has nothing in terms of character other than Flair's daughter.
Hmm.
And I feel like she should be her own character. Like, for example, like Tamina isn't just Jimmy Snooker's daughter. She's also got her own character. Or like The Rock wasn't just his father. Like Randy Orton stepped out of his father's shadow. I feel like she should develop her own personality and character than just be Ric Flair's daughter. Like on Raw, we came out this week, tonight, even at the end when they could after she'd won and stuff, where they did the promo backstage, and she's doing the Ric Flair line. I'm like, she needs her own personality. I feel, because I don't feel she has. Because if she's just Ric Flair's daughter, that'll get boring as fuck for her title reign, and she'll probably only have it a couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
I feel like she had that on NXT because, like, the first couple times I saw her, I didn't know she was Flair's daughter because she, didn't have the name or anything. It was just Charlotte. So I think that, excuse me, on NXT, I think they had a better sense of doing that. Where it feels like on Raw, they put a lot of emphasis on pedigree for a lot of people, but yeah, they need to have her do stuff that makes her her own person. So it's less that it's only she's Ric Flair's daughter and that she, instead of just also being Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah, I can agree with that. On NXT, when she was heel, it was more like she was the heel that wanted to be challenged and was arrogant, but yet somewhat good in the ring, so you couldn't really fault her. It's more if once she went face, even near the end of NXT, they started playing up the Flair thing way too much. It's like she needs a face personality. Then
Yeah.
I was also disappointed they changed her finishing move because I'm like, okay, the figure eight's cool, I like it, but I loved the natural selection. That move was fucking awesome. And then it's like they call her up. It's like, nope, you have to be Flair's daughter, so you're gonna get the figure four. I'm like, no, she had a good finishing move. Well, figure eight, figure four with a bridge, but yes, figure eight. I was like, no, she had the natural selection. Let her do that. That makes her look, in my opinion, more impressive than with the figure eight.
see, I will admit I prefer the figure eight.
Fair enough.
While I want her to be more than Flair's daughter, right now with the divas and stuff, I find like Natalia doing the sharpshooter and finishes like that. Like there's very few submission divas who you on the main roster, so making her that just makes her that a little bit more different. Because like, don't get me wrong, I liked her other move, but as far as like sort of impact finishes go, it's not as good as Nikki Bella's one at the rack attack, that where she puts one on and goes, boom, that looks awesome. It's like, okay, but she has a submission move going forward, and it's the figure eight. That looks kind of cool. And it's a submission one, which you don't really see divas do, so it's like, that's kind of cool. I feel that finisher worked, I just feel she needs personality to go with it.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True. I was hoping she would pull out the natural selection tonight when her leg was all injured and shit.
It would have been nice.
It would have been.
Possibly weird buzzing, Marcus.
Nah, he's fine. All right, so on to the next one, or
Yep, on to the next one if you want.
okay. I didn't know if anyone had anything else to add for the Divas one.
You are our bronze statue of Rickness.
All right, so the next one was the Family War match: Ambrose, Reigns, and mystery partner via the Wyatts.
I like this.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I will say, the second the mystery partner was announced, did Jim want to say who it was?
Break the walls down. Best worst partner ever.
I have to say, Semi called it.
Yeah, but I will say, the second it was Jericho, I will say, I mentioned to my brother at the time we were watching it, okay, this could go either way.
Yep.
Because Jericho likes to put people over. Like, if it'd been like, oh, he's got his cousin The Rock, pretty sure I know how this is going, and I'm pretty sure the new strong guy's going to look like ass.
He does that himself.
Yeah.
Ah.
However, with Jericho, I'm like, I could totally see Jericho being willing to put the Wyatt over and be the one who gets the loss. I'm like, I could see this happening, and I love that new countdown with the logos of the 1, 2, and stuff. Well, obviously the other way around, but still, I was like, that looks awesome.
That was cool.
Although I will say, fuck you, Jericho, for one reason.
Mm-hmm.
If he's in the game, if he's in the game and we put those trunks on him, those trunks are going to be horribly out of date in a few months' time. Also, tattoo sleeve, as Marcus mentioned. Yeah, it looks weird, his tattoo.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, does he have more tats? Because I don't remember him looking like he just walked out of Randy Orton's house.
And stole his arm.
Seriously, yeah,
Fucking
exactly. I looked at his arm, I was like,
Orton.
wait,
Thank
what?
you, Rick.
For Jericho.
Thank you, Rick. I will admit, I thought that when Marcus said it to me. I don't remember him just walking out of Orton's house. I'm like, yeah, and stealing his arm? That's not a thing.
He's
Triple
Liquid
H is-
Orton, dude. He's...
Yeah, Triple H has been in Orton's house, as has obviously Orton's wife, and many other people. They don't have tattoo arms. It's not a thing. You just tattoo your arms as you enter his house.
Yeah, Orton's not that superhero whose name I can't remember, whose superpower is that his tattoos come to life and attack you. It doesn't work that way.
I don't know. Triple H wears a suit, so you don't know what he has on his arms.
He wrestles. We saw him at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he had nothing on his arms
At that point.
except his elbow pads.
But that was years after he'd entered Orton's house. What, did he just wait and then goes, oh, sorry, it's time to do my backtrack of people who've entered my house tattoos. Okay.
Yeah.
Come here, Triple H. Also, Stardust.
Also, strictly speaking, Triple H didn't enter his house. Triple H beat Orton's ass on his front lawn.
And he threw him through the window. And he did something through the window because he entered his house and knocked him through the window and beat him up in the lawn.
Okay. I thought Orton did that to Christian, but okay. Because I remembered Orton involved in somebody throwing somebody through their front window, but okay.
Orton did
But it
something
happened to
similar. I think Orton did something similar to Christian, but Triple H went into his house with the sledgehammer and stuff and was like, "Ugh, ugh, I've got past your security because you clearly buzzed me in because you were prepared for me, but
I got past your tattoo door.
yeah."
Here's Paulie.
And obviously he proceeded to try and bury Orton. But sadly, he would not be buried. No.
Yes.
I like Orton.
Not
He would do
this.
that himself.
Yeah.
So how are those drugs, Orton?
Would have been better if Orton was on the couch freaking out holding a gun.
I would say, well, the drugs went well enough that when he returned from them, he became undisputed champion.
Not for very long, but true.
A title reign is a title reign.
Yep.
Except when you're Rey Mysterio, apparently. Sorry, Ray.
Yeah.
And
Transitional champion.
Ray wasn't a transitional champion. He held on to her for a long period and he was World Heavyweight Champion.
The last time he won the belt, he had it for, he didn't even have it for one night. He lost it the night after he won it.
Yeah, so did Kane during his first reign, but
That's gotta be Rain.
yeah.
No,
But
there was that one time he lost it the night he won it. Like he won it in
Yeah.
the first match of Raw and then lost it in the main event.
Oh,
I
I
know.
thought he won it like the pay-per-view before. My bad.
yeah, there was. But like I said, his World Heavyweight title reign was pretty good.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was.
It mainly existed to remind us Eddie was dead.
Yeah.
And Ray happened to know the person who has died and was friends with him, therefore deserves a title called heavyweight despite always being the cruiserweight. Damn, there's some logic there somewhere.
Pretty much.
But yeah, this This match was really good. And like I said, I semi-called Jericho because I was speaking with Jim a while ago, like within the last week,
That's me.
about this. About this very thing, about who do you think is going to be the third member?
It should be noted that this conversation was after I had the same conversation with Chriz the Mole earlier that day.
Yep, and I said, for my money, the one that makes the most sense to me would be Chris Jericho, just because A, it's about time for his inevitable return at the end of the year, and B, he had history with the Wyatts. So I was like, yeah, I can see it being Jericho. I wanted it to be Eric Rowan. I thought that would be great because Jim did mention it. And I said, ooh, yeah, that'd be good. So yeah, I kind of want that. That would be awesome.
So you mentioned that one to me, Marcus, when I asked you who it was. You said, I think it's going to be Eric Rowan. I was like, oh, okay. That could kind of work.
I wanted both of them to heel turn, and I wanted it to be Seth Rollins, and I wanted them to help him retain his titles.
But this match made me realize one thing.
What's that?
They now sell black sheep masks. Bravo, WWE. Well played.
Of course they do.
I saw him in the crowd. Nice. Also, I have to say, it might just be me. Did they fuck up Bray Wyatt's entrance?
Did they?
Oh, where like it stopped and he looked up or something. Like
you know when the
early?
Oh no, you know when the lights came back on, Rick?
Uh-huh.
There was a dude with his arms by his side, still with a blue light on his chest. And a couple of times when I went round, there was still the blue lights as bright as they were when the lights were off. And I'm like, wait a minute, do you add lights to his entrance? I know there's some where you do the waving at the phone, but I'm also pretty sure you add some lights. And when I saw that, I'm like, huh. Unless that dude's Iron Man and has the arc reactor thing in his chest.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure this is a mess up. But the match is I like the match.
Those
Also-
are lights, they're fireflies.
Also, WWE security, yeah.
I know,
need better
right?
security. Like, what was up with that dude? Just he got in the ring. How the fuck did he make it to the ring? What the hell?
You
At
sound
first
shocked.
I thought
by
it
this.
was Jamie Noble. Or not Jamie, Mercury.
Yeah, I was saying, you sound shocked by this. This is the third time this has happened this month.
Fourth.
Yeah, but this is the first time that
Fourth time this has happened this month.
This is the first time that they've ever made it to the ring. I'm like, wait, how did they make it to the ring?
No, but they've
Usually
gotten
they catch him before they get to the ring. This guy got in the fucking ring behind Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but no, they've had like the fact of the matter. Yeah, that guy got in the ring, but that's not as bad as the dude who got on the ramp, like literally within inches of Ambrose with a fucking knife.
Or the one who followed Seth Rollins all the way up into his entrance.
Yeah, that too.
Each time they get farther and farther, eventually they're going to be suspended above the ring as an object to fight for.
I can't wait till I see one of the
Crazy
crowd
fan
members
on the
run in
board.
and grab Money in the Bank.
Yes.
No, we already. Oh no, that's it. We already saw what happened there because one of them did grab Money in the Bank and then he hurled it and hit Roman Reigns in the head with it.
Although I do have to give Bray Wyatt or Husky Harris, whatever his real name is, credit for
His real name is Wyndham Rotunda, but
Yeah.
I have to give him credit for
Husky Harris is just a character. You see, wrestling, Marcus, isn't real.
What?
no, but sometimes the names are. But anyway, I have to give him credit for
you really think a guy's real first name is Husky? What kind of cruel parents would do that? What the fuck is wrong with you?
His father is a fucking tax collector. I think that's how cruel he is.
To be fair,
Valid point.
to be fair, someone's parents did name them Big when they had the initial E in the last name, Rection.
That is true. That is true.
Isn't that a huge erection?
That's his father.
There was huge
I
E
don't know.
Rection, but at a certain point at the beginning, it kept swapping between Big E and Huge E when they were trying to see which one stuck.
Okay then. But yeah, I have to give Bray Wyatt credit.
The
Yeah.
one that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I have to give Bray Wyatt credit for like using it to his advantage. Where he's like, "Is that the best you got?"
Is that your third man?
Yeah,
That was awesome.
that was good. That was good. And I like how simultaneously Ambrose and Reigns just looked over their shoulders, kind of looked at each other like, okay, whatever.
This again.
I would have laughed at that the big guy destroyed him.
Ah.
And actually said, I thought you were the third man after he's destroyed them completely.
Mm.
Make it happen.
Or or the guy who had a mask on takes it out, but the mask has to be blue and white. Brother.
Ah, nice.
Funny.
But yes, enough.
Yeah, this match was good. I was
that was-
surprised the Wyatts won, actually, to be honest.
So,
I
yeah,
am
like
too.
I said,
Yeah, well, Jericho's a dick. What do you expect?
I wasn't, because Jericho's willing to put people over, and I feel the first pay-per-view match with the newly reformed Wyatt and Braun Strowman on the card, they kind of should have won, because otherwise
Mhm.
this new Wyatt now looks like a bigger disappointment as the last Wyatt family.
Well, I
Right,
thought
no, I'm-
that
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I thought that that they would win, and that the Wyatts would just go on. Oh, it's you only won because you had that guy helping you, and then that they could go on to outnumber, destroy them. Because I don't know, it makes them look kind of silly if it's like, haha, now we have a third one. Now it's even, and we still got our ass kicked. Like, either you chose really fucking poorly, or you just suck.
Well,
Yeah,
they did
that kinda
choose
makes
poorly.
me look like shit.
They did choose poorly. They chose someone who tagged himself in as Reigns was getting ready to do his Superman punch.
Well,
Yeah,
the first two didn't work on Ultimate Warrior. Why would the third one?
Yep.
Is it comes in threes?
Maybe.
Pretty much, and it was kind of inevitable that was going to happen, because one thing I've noticed from the last two inevitable Jericho returns is Jericho's not allowed to be a face anymore for any extended period of time. He
Yeah,
can be a face. He can be a face for like an episode or two when he comes back, but then he has to immediately heel turn. So
He was
It's a Big
face
Show heel
during,
turn.
he was face during most of his last reign.
are they?
Not Roman Reigns.
Ah.
But yeah, during his last reign, when Jericho came back for a few months, he seemed face, because he constantly feuded with like Bray Wyatt and stuff.
Fair enough.
No,
But
and
I will say I'm not sure if Jericho is heel.
I don't think he is.
He
Yeah,
caused a
he-
match and then pushed his way between the two faces
To be
in a
fair,
very abrupt manner.
To be fair, you could also look at it the other way. He tagged himself in because he wanted to get the victory because he's a little egotistical. That's not really a heel
Jericho
thing.
egotistical? No.
Yeah, like I said, that's not really a heel thing because like The Rock and Cena kept doing that when they were teaming up, and some faces do that. At the end, both Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns looked like they were going to attack him. Jericho's just standing his ground, like no, fuck off, and just walks off. If anything, by the look of his reaction, I'm thinking I may be right. I'm expecting Ambrose to turn.
Okay, fair enough.
But it could still be Jericho's turn. But like I said, with how it was, I don't think it's as black and white until he cuts a heel promo.
Yeah.
That involves some sort of words like hypocrite, Neanderthal, and stuff like that thrown
Sycophant.
around. Sycophant,
Yeah.
and maybe some reference to their local sports team.
Yeah, as I was going to say, I'm perfectly fine the Wyatts one. I'm just surprised they won. That's all.
Yeah, which I understand. I was just saying I kind of expected it for the reason I'd mentioned. That's why, like I said, if it had been anyone else, I probably would have been like, ooh, okay, they're going to win here. If it was Jericho, I'm like, he's willing to lose a lot more when he wins. Because as Jericho even mentioned on, and I assume Jim's watched it and it's available now on the WWE Network, did you watch the Jericho DVD set of him? Breaking the Code?
I don't believe I have, but I should.
It's just the documentary portion which is on the network, which makes it awesome.
Right.
He even mentions in there one of the reasons he did NXT and one of the reasons he's lost a few times when he comes back is when he was first on WWE and he was first starting out, all the top tier guys like your Rocks and your Austins and stuff like that wouldn't lie down for him. They just wouldn't help the new talent out, and he felt so alienated for the first year in WWE, and that's why they didn't really do much with him for the first year. That when they actually gave him the match with China, he embraced it because at least it was something to get him on. At least it was something to do. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, with NXT, he's like, I want to help these guys so they don't feel that way, so they can hone their craft sooner. And so if they can get advantages and stuff I don't want and I didn't have. And like I said, it's sort of like that father mentality if I want my sons to have what I didn't. And I'm like, that's kind of a cool way of looking at it. I do give him props for that. It's a cool ass way of looking at it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Indeed.
We give you props, Mr. Irvine. We give you props.
Quite.
Okay, so on to the next match. U.S. Championship match. The first of Rollins' title defenses tonight. Him versus Cena.
Also, right before this, we did have the promo where the Authority pep talk Seth Rollins to make sure that he's ready, and they get they
get interrupted by Sheamus, where Stephanie looks at Sheamus and goes, "No, swiper, no swiping."
Oh,
that would have been amazing. Like, yeah,
Fuck.
he's ready, and so am I. And then look nervous, and he walks off.
And so am I. And then he walks off, and then Batista steps out the shadows after staring at him and goes, "I'm ready for my rematch." And he walks off.
That would have been awesome. No, I don't think Triple H ever bought that Seth Rollins was ready. I don't know, there was a look in his eyes, so even when he said, yeah, he's ready, I was just like, Triple H doesn't buy it. Triple H knows he's not ready.
I thought he was going to say something like, he'd just be like, or like he was going to turn to Steph and be like, he's dead. And then just walk out.
I was waiting for that, too. I was.
Yeah, I was, or we've got a plan or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, yeah. But like I said, I do miss the thing I referenced and joked about. I miss Batista's inevitable stuff of I want a rematch, despite the fact he's already had like 10. He had like unlimited rematches. I don't know why. It's like he did the Konami code and got infinite continues.
He can't do that anymore.
genie.
He can't do that anymore because Christian stole that gimmick from him after he left the WWE.
No, Christian's was I want one more match and begged for a match. Batista's was I want a rematch and he instantly got it. Christian had to earn his one more match.
Mm-hmm.
Every time.
Batista just shows up and goes, "I'm getting a rematch," or "I've spoke to the back and I'm getting a rematch." It's like, oh, okay, that's how this works. You're getting a rematch of your rematch of your rematch. Cool.
And the guys in the back are like, wait, did he talk to you? No, I thought he talked to you. Who did he do? Okay, I guess he has the match.
Would you tell him no?
Touche.
But no.
No, I'd have a basketball. I'd have a basketball tell him no.
Yeah, but no, the US title matchup, it was pretty good. Honestly, I'm going to say what people may not have. I was okay with who won.
So was I. I was going to say match of the night.
What I wanted was Rollins to beat Cena,
Yes.
beat Sting, Sheamus to cash in, and lose to Rollins just for that heel promo on Raw. Oh god, that'd be so delicious when he talks about all three in one night, how much he's better than Triple H. But at the same time, I realised we kind of need the US title back. So it needs to be split. So I'm like, I'm not going to go like, no, Cena won, bullshit. I didn't mind it, and it was a good, it was an okay quality. It was a pretty good quality match, I will say.
Was that the only one a little surprised that those two matches were back to back?
No, I said the same thing to Mole. As soon as I realized that, I was like, wait, Mole? He's like, yeah. I said, are both of Seth Rollins' matches back to back? And he goes, maybe.
I say, are the matches back to back?
To which after the match, after this US title, Richter messaged me instantly with, "You forgot about your other opponent." He didn't, but he shut us.
As soon as I realized the matches were back to back, I'm like, I felt sorry for Seth. I'm like, oh god, you're not walking out with both titles, dude. Not with back to back matches. That ain't happening.
Yeah, but admit it, you kind of thought he'd lose the second one more.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then they equalized it, so it worked. But we'll get to that one. But yes, Cena versus Rollins, match of the night. This match was fucking awesome.
That was a great match. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. These two just have really good chemistry in the ring. They put on a good match.
They did.
Yep.
Yup. Yeah, it was a very good match. They had a lot of moves that I was like, oh wow, like good highlight reel.
Absolutely. Also, there's a move in there that I now want in the game. And okay. Seth Rollins did it. It's the superplex into the rolling suplex. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And also, Rick, you just gave me a thought.
Uh
Will the highlight reel be back on Raw?
oh.
With Jericho interviewing Reigns and Ambrose.
There you go.
There you go.
Maybe.
I hope so. I do like the highlight reel.
That'd be interesting. Except if he opens up the highlight reel, the worst things that happen is Miz is gonna come out and be like, no, I do the talk shows here now.
And then Ambrose would just knock him out and toss him out of the ring.
Probably.
Yeah, I think with it being Roman Reigns and Ambrose and Jericho in the ring, Miz will be like, you know what? Sometimes I just have to let these go.
Although the talk show scene might get a little more crowded because there was a news in the little dirt sheets that Carlito might be returning. So the Cabana might come back.
I did see that. Don't know if I believe it, but
I want Carlito to come back, bring back the Cabana, and then I want him to feud with Miz over which show is better and just have a cool versus awesome feud.
Okay. This is the portion of our podcast where we were meant to give stupid ideas. I will say, I want a new talk show since he's now back. Oh, more on this later, since we also meant to spoil stuff in this. I want Kane's barbecue, where Kane has a barbecue at ring, and it's all themed like a garden, where he does the hand gesture and the barbecue goes up, and he's like, yeah, and he's just having a cookout conversation with people while wearing an apron. It says something like "Kiss the Kane" or something.
I thought his show was going to be called "It Still Burns," and they talk about things that annoy them.
There you go.
It still burns, and they talk about Dolph Ziggler's pee.
Yes. And coming up, Summer Rae's pee.
Yes.
But yeah,
but no.
this match was match of the night for me. It was just an out and out great match. I was like, okay, this match was good. I like this.
You even had an Eddie chant.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
didn't hear
did,
that.
but-
Fair enough.
When Seth Rollins went for the frog splash and missed, they chanted for Eddie.
They did, which I will say I like this match. I will give one small fault to this match,
Okay.
and that involves the ending.
Okay.
I didn't hate the ending. Like I said, I don't mind who won. But the second he went boom and did the AA, I mean, it was 1, 2, 3, and he was just laying there. I was like, that seemed a little fast, and at least to me when it happened, it was like a little fast and looked like, oh, it just ended. I kind of thought it'd be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Normally when they end, it's more obvious, like, yeah, that's the thing that's finished it. This one is just like, oh my god, great match, over. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't hate the match, and I didn't hate the, like I said, who won. I just hated how, I don't know what you'd call it, but short and to the point. The ending was like, over.
Yeah.
So, like, the ending was out of nowhere. No, I don't know. It felt appropriate to me, like in terms of length and whatnot. I was like, okay.
That's what she said?
Oh, it wasn't about length of match or anything, Mark. I was just about the pacing. Right before that was still pretty fast. Normally they slow it down a little bit before the finisher. Or before the finish, and it was like, boom, AA, 1, 2, 3. I was like, when the second he did it, boom, AA, and he's got him, I'm like, okay, he's going to kick out, 1, 2, 3. I'm like, he didn't kick out. Why didn't you kick out?
See, I knew the instant he hit the AA that it was over. I was like, oh, he hit the AA. He ain't kicking out from that.
Why not?
Just
He
because
kicked out of it last time, multiple times.
Because of how the match was going, I was like, yeah, no, he's not going to kick out.
Not this time.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, based on their previous matches, I thought if there'd be a couple of, the finishers, kickouts that they like to do.
Mm.
So I thought he would have kicked out of it. But like I said, that was just a small nitpick on my behalf. Like I said, still a great match.
Indeed.
Not my match of the night. Mine goes to the Divas, but it was still a good match.
Fair enough. It'll probably be a good match when Rollins gets his rematch at the next pay-per-view.
I don't think he's going to use it.
I think
If
so.
anything, he'll do it on Raw, so that at the next pay-per-view he can feud with blank. As in the sentence that's got to be blank.
Oh.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Speaking of which, on to the main event.
Well, that's the case. I guess we know who's answering the open challenge tomorrow night.
Open
It's
challenge.
the main event. Is Cena gonna do another open challenge?
Yeah, I don't know if Cena's going to do an open challenge anymore. And
I
if he
think so.
does, I don't know if Seth would challenge for the open challenge, or if Seth will just try and get his match, like make Cena wrestle 2 on the run by saying, now I get my rematch.
That would be, yeah, I can see him trying to pull that. That would actually be good.
Agreed.
I think I would laugh my ass off if he did that, and then immediately following that match, Sheamus comes out and is like, "Yeah, don't forget about me, fella. I tried to cash in last night, didn't work. Well, guess what? I'm cashing in now."
Hmm.
I would just be like, "Wow, Rollins, you just set yourself up for that one."
Yeah. And then somehow in the clusterfuck, Sheamus says of the U.S. champion, like, wait, how did this happen?
Yes, Ivory Tower.
Yes, Ivory Tower, main event us.
The main event, which is Sting v Rollins for the WWE Championship.
Now, I gotta open this up right here because I saw Sting come out in I think that's a new coat he was wearing.
Okay.
I gotta say, I wasn't aware Sting joined Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
We'll say, didn't hate this match. I liked it. Like I said at the beginning, I liked all the matches. Sting was basically beaten up way more than I thought he'd be. Like I thought he'd be closer. I thought he'd be a lot closer.
Number one, and this goes into another award that I had that I didn't give, which was, okay, and I mentioned this to Mole while we were watching the match. Okay, so the only time Sting gets his actual ring gear is at pay-per-views? What the fuck?
How would that have been an award? You can't give an award to the pay-per-view.
No, because the award I gave was on Raw when he came out in a fucking t-shirt and fucking Rock warm-up pants for his match. And I'm like, wait, no, where's his jacket? What the fuck? This is Sting's first match on Raw, and you're not giving him his ring attire? What the hell? And then, it's pay-per-view now. What the hell?
That's because the times are very different, Marcus. Back in the day, when Sting used to do that, people would buy his t-shirt because they were a fan of him. Nowadays, people only buy his t-shirt if he is seen wearing it.
See, and I would have been okay if he, John Cena did or whatever, wore his t-shirt like over his ring gear, or even if he wore that outfit but had the jacket. I'm just like, he came out with no jacket. That looked fucking weird. With Sting, no jacket on the stage with a fucking t-shirt. I'm like, no!
Yeah, it looks weird.
What have you done to Sting?
It looks weird-ish, but that's how he's done it, because that's the new WWE thing of, for most of the talent anyway, they want to at least show off the t-shirts they got so people can see it from all angles. Oh my god, Sting wore that to the shop.
So can I just make the point here that this is the Sting entrance you're going to complain about? Dude, with absolutely no warning, came out to an Asian drum band, and this is the Sting entrance you're going to complain about.
Yes, because at least with that entrance, at least he looked like Sting. At least he had the fucking jacket, even if it was. I don't like the jacket.
Yeah, everybody else on stage looked like Sting too. It was fucking weird.
And his entrance tonight didn't look that bad with the jacket. It was a different jacket.
Tonight was fine. I'm not complaining about tonight.
I thought his entrance was fine. I just thought his jacket was ugly as shit.
Yeah.
It looked the same except he had tassels on it. But no, I was complaining about his Raw entrance where he came out without the jacket and wearing only a t-shirt. I'm like, no, that's not Sting. But yeah,
that's casual.
Was fine.
Yeah, that's
I don't
casual wear Sting.
Yeah.
No, I say casual wear Sting because WWE Sting, like I mentioned, is like a hybrid of all Stings, which basically, if you saw Joker Sting, he was always in like t-shirts and shit. He did this crazy stuff. Like that's pretty much what Sting was wearing. He was doing to the statue,
which is fine. I don't have a problem with wearing that stuff during a promo.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the same Sting, Marcus. It's not the Crow Sting. I don't know if you watched, but it's not the Crow Sting. This is more the relaxed Sting. So he does that stuff like entrances. It's like, oh yeah, look, it's my entrance. It's like you don't want to see Jericho always in his light up jacket. You'd see him in it a lot, but you don't want to always see him in it like doing everyday stuff because that'd be weird as fuck.
Kinda. Maybe
No,
once or twice.
I just expect to see the light up jacket when he comes to the ring to wrestle for a match. Because that's kind of attire.
And Jericho wouldn't do everyday stuff in his light up jacket. Jericho does everyday stuff in a custom tailored, very expensive suit.
Which makes sense because people wear suits in every day. But yes,
Indeed.
with the match on Raw, I was like, it makes sense. Like he's keeping it for pay-per-views. Like at one point, that's what Undertaker was doing with that hooded one. Like when he was wrestling, he would have the normal one during most stuff, and at WrestleMania, he'd have the hooded one. It's like it makes it seem a little bit more special when he's at the pay-per-view and he has that. Like for example, Finn Balor doesn't always wear his demon makeup.
Yeah.
Keeping some stuff for pay-per-views makes the pay-per-view special.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just off to me. But yeah, this match was pretty good. And like you said, Sting got beat up way more than I thought. And I was actually surprised Sting lost, to be honest. I'm okay with it, but I was surprised. And that, putting him to the table, that looked like it.
That was hilarious.
That was. And then
He just pushed him and just like, I'm like, wow. Usually they have to. Like there are moves where they do it and the table doesn't break. We just kind of shoves him.
Yeah, and it looks like the head sort of smacked into the monitor.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
That wasn't funny. But I want someone to take the clip of him pushing it down and just put in the fucking Mortal Kombat one of like, this is the part where you fall down. He's like, ugh.
I would want a clip, Rick, of multiple RKOs onto the table from Orton and his finger, but it didn't break and all that, and then Sting do that and just Orton watching, like looking at the monitor, pissed.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I like how Seth Rollins came back, then he did it again onto like the broken top of the table.
Yeah.
Also, was Sting legitimately injured, or did he just do the best sell job I've ever seen with the almost immediately following that last power bomb into the corner where his head like bounced off the turnbuckle?
Yeah, that looked painful.
Because number one, he tried to stand up and couldn't after that. But the thing that made me say, "Ooh, is it legitimate?" is when he tried to duck Seth Rollins' clothesline and just fucking crumpled. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute here, what the hell?"
Yeah, like I said, he's either really good at selling. It's possible he was injured, but he seemed to be doing the same amount of selling after he went through the table. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I'm not sure. He could be actually injured. I don't know.
Yeah, because it seemed to me like after he crumpled and got back up and they checked him out and stuff, it seemed like his balance was completely off for the rest of that match. To the point that when he went for the Scorpion Deathlock, I noticed he didn't actually cinch it in. Number one, when he spun around, he puts the leg through and spins around. When he spun around, it almost looked like he was about to fall over because his balance was off. And then when he tried to lock it in, he didn't actually sit down on Seth Rollins like he did on Monday night. Because when he did the Scorpion Deathlock on Monday night, he did it properly and fucking sat on Seth Rollins' ass like you're supposed to lock it in and keep him from moving. He didn't do it this time. He just kind of stood there like he was trying to not fall the fuck over. And I was like, ooh, is he actually injured?
Actually, ironically, I think he's supposed to do it more stood up.
Oh, is he?
Yes, because the sharpshooter is when he's sat down. The Scorpion Deathlock, sometimes he stood up, sometimes, but if he sat down, he normally leans the fuck back, so it's a slightly different position than the sharpshooter.
Fair enough.
So that could go either way, but
maybe. Yeah, it just seemed like he was kind of out of sorts afterwards, like I said, like with no balance, and therefore having no leverage. Because that's the other thing too. It didn't look like he had a lot of leverage. It looked like he kind of slapped it on for appearance, but had no real power or torque behind it because he couldn't keep his balance. And I was like, "Ooh, is he actually injured?"
Yeah, like I said, he may have been injured. I just don't know because he could have also just been selling it.
Mm-hmm. But I will say that counter by Seth Rollins was nice. Though I was like, "Ooh, nice counter."
Yeah, and I'd also say we wouldn't know the answer to that till at least probably tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
Only because if he sold it like that, my guess is probably they would help him out the ring to the back, which means the dirt sheets will either be reporting he's definitely injured or this is definitely a work without actually knowing.
Yeah, they did help him out because you noticed like all the trainers and the rest and stuff were walking him to the back before Sheamus came out.
Yeah.
Which, at the end of the match, Sheamus came out. and attempted to cash in, and then failed when Kane returned, who then promptly chokeslammed Seth Rollins. And then Sheamus, when Sheamus tried to say one more time, and Kane was like, fuck that, and chokeslammed him. And then turned around and tombstone Seth Rollins and just stood there looking like Kane. So, yay, Big Red Machine is back.
Yep, which I say, silly mistake on Sheamus' part.
Indeed. Yeah, as soon as he was in, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, do it again. I'm like, oh, you're fucked.
You should have just, you could have waited till Kane had left and gone in and cashed in and just pinned him from the chokeslam.
Yeah.
There was literally no reason to go in there and try and get it done again, because that's only going to end badly when Kane will inevitably betray you.
Yeah.
I was not surprised that Kane did not do the turnbuckle pyro.
A little bit. I was expecting him to do it at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Sheamus, look, dude, he just chokeslammed Seth Rollins. He's obviously the good guy here. You probably shouldn't piss him off.
Yeah, I thought Kane did one of the pyros with the flame. Oh, no, it was the entrance one. I'm guessing the reason that he didn't is because, as people have pointed out at WWE, if you see those things on the corners, you know Kane's coming out.
That is true. Then again, they countered us because we thought we saw them at the show the other day, remember, a few weeks ago, and he didn't come out.
Yeah, but they turned out to be something completely unrelated that were for something else that we forgot what they were for. But it turns out, I forgot what they were for, but it turns out they were for something else. But if they had been there now, we would have still expected Kane.
True.
It's like whenever you see a giant-ass steel cage hanging above the ring. Guess what matchup the authority figure in power is going to make that night?
True.
A tag team match, player.
Thank you.
Alrighty, take us home, Hammy.
Triple H did on Raw, and I had to inject Playa when he did it because he literally used the line when Cena came out to interfere, Rollins came out to interfere, or I think Rollins came out first, and then Cena came out for the save. I was like, all right, enough. We're gonna have ourselves a tag team match, and I was like, come on, you gotta say Playa, you gotta say it, Triple H.
It's true.
It's gotta be we're having ourselves a tag team match, Playa.
Yep. Which, yeah, all in all, I like Night of Champions. I didn't think there was a single bad match.
Nope.
Were some matches better than others? Yes, but there wasn't any bad matches, so it's a pretty good pay-per-view.
Yeah, even Ryback pulled his own weight and put on a decent match.
Yeah, and we also got information about new stuff that actually had me excited on there. Like I'm looking forward to, was it Legends with JBL or something like that with guest Eric Bischoff. I'm like, fucking hell yeah, I'm gonna watch that. JBL is fucking awesome, and I want to see Bischoff get interviewed. That's awesome. Yeah. And of course, the whole Brock Lesnar goes to hell. I'm hoping the end result of Brock Lesnar goes to hell is the Freddy Krueger claw pulls him down, ready for the inevitable Brock vs. Freddy film.
That'd be awesome. I also want to see JBL interview Farouk, because they had a clip of that. I'm like, oh, that's going to be an awesome one. Especially since the clip was Farouk was like laughing, and I was like, ooh, that means they're going to be telling like old war stories and stuff. That's going to be amazing.
Don't you mean Ron?
Ron, yes.
I don't. Still Farouk to me, damn it.
Yeah, but some of the guests he's got lined up look pretty good, so I'm looking forward to that. I do want to see that.
He's still the first ever black world WCW champion to me.
Damn it.
I didn't need to add that.
Also,
yeah,
they were hyping up the rerun of the Page interview with Austin podcast. And I remember what you told me about it. I still haven't watched it, but when they started showing clips from it, one clip in particular, I was like, oh, that's bad. Oh, where Austin was like, so who was your favorite superstar diva growing up? And she goes, well, you. I was like, oh, that is bad. If what most of them said is true, that is bad. It's like, oh my God, really? Your favorite was Stone Cold, and he just doesn't give a shit about you. That's bad.
To be fair, he doesn't give a shit about all women.
That is true.
But
That's still
he
kind of
doesn't
bad when
he
she comes
doesn't
out and is like,
discriminate against one particular woman.
true, but that's still kind of bad when she's like, yeah, you were the one that inspired me, and I was kind of in love with you, and da da da, and it's like, psh, don't give a shit. I'm like, what? No. Oh.
Actually, now that it occurs to me, we can make Austin think twice about this and see if we can make him counter that behavior. Because we know who his next podcast guest is coming up in a few weeks. So instead, we call our friend Triple H and we psych him out, and instead he interviews Bette Lesnar.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'm still curious how the Austin Brock one's gonna go.
I'm curious as to whether Paul Heyman will be there.
I'll be honest, and this might just be me. I don't care if Paul Heyman's there. What I want to see is Brock and Austin's podcast just to see what Brock and Austin say about the inevitable thing of Austin taking his ball and leaving because he refuses to job to Brock Lesnar. Just because I understand Austin's apologized for that, and I give him props for doing so. But we haven't heard Brock's side of things with that as much.
Yeah.
And I want to see that, you know what I mean? And also with the last podcast when he did Paul Heyman and then interviewed him. No, when he interviewed Paul Heyman, he also went into promo mode and cut the fake promo about, I should totally fight Brock at WrestleMania. I kind of want to see if more goes on that because it can be in continuation of that. So I'm like, This could actually be a really cool podcast. It won't be as enjoyable for me as Eric Bischoff because I really want to see that, especially when one of the clips was him just saying Vince Russo is a fucking liar. I'm like, I'm throwing money at the screen. Why aren't you repairing?
Yeah. I want to see at the podcast if an inevitable discussion of WrestleMania 20 comes up and if they just start talking shit about Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That was terrible. That was Goldberg's fault. No, that wasn't your fault, Brock. No, that wasn't my fault. That was totally Goldberg.
Oh, come on. They need to cut Goldberg a bit of slack. He just lost his Intercontinental Championship.
Also, I don't know. I can't recall if it's been officially stated yet or not, but I also have another clip from that JBL Bischoff podcast where he's like, JBL turns to Bischoff and goes, Vince almost accepted your challenge, right?
Nice. But yeah.
I'm like, wait, he did?
Yeah. Which I will say with the Brock Austin one, I will say WrestleMania 20, and I can't believe I'm the one to say this, it's not just Goldberg's fault.
No, I know it's not. I'm just saying it would be funny if they tried to blame all Goldberg because he was the one out there to defend himself.
Yeah, he's not, but we both know they both just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, no, neither of them gave a shit. They were both on their way out. They're like, fuck this, we're not doing this.
Yep.
And part of it kind of makes me wonder, was Austin stunning them both scheduled, or was that just Vince in the back, like fuck this, Austin, just put them end this, please?
I'm pretty sure it must have been scheduled, or at least agreed upon, because no offense to Austin, I don't think he could actually stun a Brock Lesnar without Brock Lesnar wanting him to.
Fair. Well, I don't mean that. I mean I just mean it might be one of those things where one of those situations where somebody at ringside whispered to one guy and the other guys whispered to the others, like in a hold or something. So they are there. Yeah. We're gonna end this. Austin's gonna stun us.
Yeah, I was aware, but yeah, it could be interesting to see. Like I said, that podcast is gonna be interesting. But like Brock Lesnar goes to Hell tour. Like one of them's gonna be a live event, which we totally need to cover at some point. But one of them's going to be the fucking Hell in a Cell with Undertaker, which you're looking forward to. And the podcast and all that all in 1 month. I'm like, okay, so it's Brock Appreciation Month.
And as cool as the whole thing sounds, am I the only one that was not impressed when like Brock Lesnar going to Madison Square Garden to face the Big Show? I'm like, I'm sorry, as much as I love the guy because he's like the nicest guy in the world, I don't think Big Show seriously as a threat anymore.
He may not be a threat anymore, but here's the thing about those live events. Isn't he deliberately normally against someone he's going to get destroyed because they know people want to tune into the WWE Network live events to see Brock kill someone? With Big Show, you kind of want like they used to back in the day when they fought. You want to see him pick him up and F5 him.
That's true. I want to see a superplex him break the ring again.
I will say that him versus Big Show sounds more interesting than the last one, where it's like he takes on Kofi Kingston. I was like, really? Wait, really?
I was expecting Kofi to win due to the New Day playing the numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
I want to know.
They don't have enough numbers.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
I was hoping, wasn't he supposed to go against Bo?
That's what I was gonna say. There was at one point they were talking about him fighting Bo Dallas. I was gonna say, why isn't he going against his true rival Bo Dallas?
Oh my God! Is this when Bo returns and costs him?
That'd be amazing.
Admit it. If Bo returned and ran into a Brock Lesnar match and cost him the match after what he did the previous time, you're going to be like, wow, congratulations, you managed to have even more of all of the balls.
And all of the death wishes.
And then it comes out on Raw next week in an Eat, Sleep, Bo Leave, Repeat t-shirt.
Yes! Oh my God, I want that t-shirt now.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, imagine a feud between Brock Lesnar and Bo Dallas, where Bo keeps getting victories through, let's shall we say, despicable means.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he totally needs to do the Goldberg streak ending to Brock. Like, imagine if during one of the matchups he tasers him. And the refs start looking and Brock goes down. We turn around, 1, 2, 3, Bo Dallas has beat Brock. You just see Paul Heyman just staring in disbelief, like, what the fuck's wrong with you? It would be like one of the most entertaining feuds, because it would be the unstoppable monster constantly just getting one up by someone being just stupid.
Yeah.
Well, not stupid, but just being like a little weasel.
Yeah.
It's like what I imagined the Seth Rollins Brock feud should have been.
Yeah.
Or, more accurately, if WCW had actually booked it properly with the actual match, Jericho v. Goldberg.
Yeah. That would have been, yes, exactly.
Like, I want Bo to show up one week when he knows Brock's not going to be there and challenge him right now for the Bo Dallas, Bo Leave open challenge to Brock Lesnar. When he doesn't come out, I want him to make the people raise his hand in victory.
By forfeit, yeah.
Because he's now beat Brock Lesnar by forfeit. Because he Bo leaves.
Yeah.
It would be an amazing feud. Or it would be one where and after like 1 month or 2 months, you know he's just going to get destroyed completely.
Yeah. Well, then, did that happen? Who was it? I don't remember that happened. Wasn't it the Miz? Because wasn't it one point where the Miz came out like for like a whole month, and every night he came out and declared himself that a victory against John Cena.
Yeah, Miz has done that. Miz did that against Cena. Jericho did that against Goldberg. A few people have done that where where they just keep doing you're not showing up. 9, 10. I win.
Mm-hmm.
And we know they don't actually count as victories. It's just to piss the person off, and it's funny.
Yeah, it is.
But would you watch that feud, Rick?
Not if he did that. I really just like oh, they're not here. Oh, I win by forfeit, because I've seen it once, and every other time I'm like, oh, this shit again.
Yeah, they've done it a lot.
Stunning, like hitting him with a stun gun and shit. Yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Tased him and then pinned him. If you just to see Paul Heyman and the crowd would have that like Undertaker streak breaking face, of the like what?
Yes.
Yeah. Brock runs at Bo Dallas. He dodges. Brock hits the corner. Bo Dallas jumps on from behind like he's putting him in a sleeper hold as they're facing away from the ref, but instead Bo puts a chloroform cloth over his face.
Oh my God! Could Bo Dallas possibly take the piss?
Oh, it's definitely possible for Bo Dallas to take the piss.
He keeps doing the thing, Rick, where he keeps getting his hand raised for being victory despite the fact they're not there. Until he gets to 21-0.
Ha!
Or do you reckon that would just be like, why are you doing this? That would be why are you doing this, but
Indeed.
And then he's about to declare himself a 20-second victory, and also the lights go out. It just comes up. He just gets tombstoned. If I can't have the record, no one can.
Yeah, but I will say with the thing of the third man as well. One of the rumors I heard was Brian Corbett.
Oh,
I think it was
Baron.
Brian Corbett.
Baron
Baron
Corbin.
Corbin.
Yeah, that's because I read that on the. I told you that I read that on the dirt sheet.
Thank you. I knew someone got it wrong. But yeah, basically.
That was me.
I-
And the
all
dirt
right.
sheet.
Yes, but I was saying, shush, Jim, you kept saying you didn't do this. But yes, I was saying, I'm glad it wasn't him, because I like him a bit, but I don't know if you'd agree, Rick, I don't think he's ready for the main roster. When I've seen him, he doesn't know how to pace his matches as well, and he messes up now and again, or he's not as polished as he could be. So I'm glad it wasn't him, because if they brought him up too soon, he will fail and have no chance at WWE. Whereas if they let him polish his craft, I feel like, okay, that's the right time.
Indeed.
How does Rick feel
About the pay-per-view?
about that?
Third man.
Yeah, about that Brian Corbin thing, or Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I saw that rumor too, and I was like, nah, I don't think so. But yeah, he's. Yeah, I agree. He's not ready, definitely, to do it.
I will say as well with the pre-show, I wish Corey Graves had been right.
Oh, what is things Richter will never say?
No, I just mean.
Sorry, I thought we were doing.
Yeah, I just mean because sometimes when they do those, who's it gonna be? Sometimes they actually give it away, and sometimes they don't. So you don't know if they're telling the truth, if it's gonna be one of the ones they mentioned. So you listen more. When he mentioned he thought it should be Samoa Joe, I was like, I would watch that. I would love Samoa Joe on the main roster, like Samoa Joe v the Wyatts with the other two. It's like that'd be cool. I want Samoa Joe on the main roster.
Indeed.
Yep.
Just because I also feel Samoa Joe on the main roster, you could easily build a program with him and most of the guys there, or at least most of the main eventers, like Samoa Joe versus Cena. It's pretty much Kevin Owens, Cena again, but
Yeah.
you could easily do that. Samoa Joe v Kevin Owens, you could do that. Samoa Joe v Brock Lesnar, you could do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my thoughts of the pay-per-view anyway. Like I said, overall, liked it.
It's a good pay-per-view. I agree.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Absolutely. Yep. For once, it was like you said, there was no bad match on the card. So yeah.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yay.
Indeed.
Jesus.
So take us out, Hambot.
I miss
Hambot
Funaki.
wrestling.
Hambot only knows wrestling.
So there you have it. Our thoughts on the Night of Champions pay-per-view and the little bit of the week of wrestling. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us tonight, and hope you come back next week for.
It was a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. For
Thank you for having us.
Woo.
So come back next week for some more wrestling opinions and whatnot. Thank you very much, and good night.